Hi everyone, welcome to day 4 of hashtag 10 tips, 10 days. We are focusing on how to supercharge your inner drive. This is all about fueling that passion inside of you, making sure that fire is burning bright so that you're in the right mindset to do the best work that you were designed to do, what that you were meant to do in this world. So my tip today is all about reflecting back on your intonations and your inflections, your micro expressions, all the subconscious information that comes out through the way that we express ourselves. I'm going to ask you to take a video on your phone, and it can be only for yourself. You don't have to share it with anybody else. But take a video of yourself talking about some of the bigger goals that you have. You know, the ones where you don't have it 100% down, you're still trying to figure things out. Share that in the video and then go back and watch yourself on video and see what was your choice of vocabulary, what were your facial expressions like, what were the intonations like, because when you do that you're going to see that there might be certain places where consciously you thought you were confident, but subconsciously through your communication what you're going to find is that maybe you quiet down in certain parts of the discussion, or maybe you rush through certain pieces, maybe your eye movement changes, or even your vocabulary could be one where you feel like you're unsure. Much of that sort of, those insights in terms of how we feel inside are reflected out when we are talking. Our body language doesn't lie. The choice of language we use, for most of us, it's really difficult to hide how we feel personally. And the reason I'm sharing this tip with you today is that yesterday when we talked about stretch goals in tip number 3, we said, find a stretch goal and keep it close to you, make it your best friend so that in your day-to-day life, when you feel like you don't have time to do things, just keep your focus on that one goal to get there. My stretch goal was writing a book. And so, see, when I say writing a book, I tend to be kind of like, I'm writing a book. Because even though I feel like I've gotten over the insecurities or the, question of who am I to write a book, even though I've started that process, there's still a part of me that thinks that everything I'm feeling in my heart that I want to put out into this book, will I be able to do that? Will I be able to do justice to the book in terms of reflecting what I'm feeling inside? My hope is that this book will be able to positively change people's lives. Will I be able to do that? Those questions are still lingering inside of me in terms of, can that happen, versus me standing in it and owning it. And I didn't realize that until I watched the video yesterday of myself sharing this story, when I thought, oh, I still have some more mindset work to do, just to get myself into that place where I can feel confident. So I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Think about the parts of your journey that are really big, exciting, the parts that might make you a little bit nervous, maybe the things that you thought you were nervous to start but you feel okay with now, and go back and just study the way in which you talk about it to see, are you fully confident or is there still some work to do? Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich says, if you can believe it, if you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. And in this case with my book, clearly I conceived it, I partially believed it, but I'm not fully 100% in total confidence yet. And so I know now that I need to practice my mindset where I can step into that power. I only know that because I've been watching the way that I've been talking about my book. Back in high school, I was part of a music theater program, and in our final exam in our last year, we had a really cool script that we had to act out. And actually, it was that experience of acting out that script that gave me this intel in terms of how to be introspective. The script story was where a boy and a girl had gone out in high school for a couple of dates, then the girl suddenly had a pregnancy scare. And when she meets her date, who she's been avoiding for a little while, a conversation ensues. So in the script, there's so much subtext, there's a lot of complexities going on. So, as my character's saying something, she's saying one thing in terms of her words, but her feelings inside are like a volcano of all kinds of emotions. So we had the opportunity to really think that through. But as I was practicing the script for my final exam, I realized that some of the F-bombs or the explicit language they were areas of the script that I was not comfortable with. So as I was looking into the mirror practicing, I started skipping through, like almost going really, really quickly through some of the explicit language, because I think in my mind I was like, oh, let's just get over this. Or when it came to dropping the F-bomb, I would say it quietly because it's not really who I am. But then when I realized that I was doing this and kind of watching myself, I thought, hang on a second. This character is feeling it in this moment. This character's not holding anything back, and I needed to do the same thing. So when I went on stage and I dropped those F-bombs with full confidence, when the explicit language just came flowing out of me, my teachers and my colleagues my fellow students were totally shocked. They were like, what? How did Keka do that? Keka swore? Is that even possible? possible. But this exercise basically reaffirmed for me at that point that the way in which we do things, the way in which some of our expressions come out, it's often subconscious. It's the things that we might not fully be aware of. And the best way to be able to change our mindset is to really identify and become aware of what those blocks are. What are those areas that are holding us back? What makes us uncomfortable? We can't fix it until we know what they are. So practice talking through what it is that you are feeling trepidatious about or feeling uncomfortable about, and watch those intonations to see where's your comfort level, where are the places that you might feel uncomfortable, and then you have work to do from there in terms of your mindset and really fully believing it. So I am going to practice now all about how to talk about my book with confidence. You know, I am writing a book. It is called The Art of Lifing. I am just giving a big piece of my heart into this book, and I have full confidence that the book I'm going to write is going to help change somebody's life for the better. So that's my homework. I'm going to keep practicing that based on the intonations that I've studied. I would love for you to try this too and share with us in the comments below what your experience was and what you discovered as a result. So that's it for today. Tip number 5 coming your way tomorrow.